Good morning, beautiful people of the world. Good morning. It is August 5th, 2025. It's Truthful Tuesday. It is another day that God has allowed us to see. I'm grateful and thankful for it all. Amen, somebody. Amen. Anywho, I hope you guys had a great day on yesterday. I had a good day yesterday. Okay. Yeah, I had a good day yesterday. I'm just looking at all these weeds that are over here on this, by this garage that I gotta, that I'm gonna have him come back and cut. But anyway, good morning. Today is Tuesday, and you know what we do on Tuesday? It is what? Truthful Tuesday. Truthful Tuesday. So today is a day that you are able to tell your truth, whatever it may be. It can be whatever you want to talk about, whatever you want to get off your chest. This is your safe place. I have several. And my first Truthful Tuesday is that I have failed miserably with the water challenge. I have failed. I didn't do what I was supposed to do yesterday. And I only drank one bottle of water as opposed to drinking 2 or 3 in my cup because I forgot my cup. And today, I got up late and I forgot to do the same again. So, I have failed this week. So, I'm still going to drink water up until Sunday. But I'm going to have to start the challenge all over again. These people are flying down this street. So I'm going to have to start it all over again. And I don't know how many of you all have been successful at it. I don't know how did it go for you guys? I don't know. But nevertheless, it is what it is. You know, it is what it is. And like I said, I failed miserably. The other thing is that I'm a little pissed off because, and it's my fault, we booked our flights for the cruise, and I meant to do mine on Uplift Vacation where I could pay it, simultaneously. And with that being said, my sister's husband went on and booked it and put it on his credit card. And so for myself and Chris, it came up to $1,000 for the airfare, which isn't bad for 2 people, right? Well, I just got that money from my friend. So I put that in the bank yesterday. I deposited that check in the bank yesterday. And then because I had such a high overdraft fee, once I put it in there, the bank, took that money, which as it was supposed to do. And so now I got to pay for this airfare, and I ain't got $1,000 just to send him because I get paid Thursday, and of course I got other bills, that got to be paid. So I'm just trying to figure some stuff out. So I'm gonna I called my sister up and I said, listen, I don't have that whole amount because I got other stuff, And so she was like, whatever. She was like, that's fine. Just send send it in installments or, however way you want to send it or whatever. So that's what I'm going to do. And so when I get paid Thursday, I'm going to send him I'm gonna send him $250 today, and then I'll send another $2. Because I just don't have a whole $1,000 saying? And then the other thing is that, and I'm grateful that I got the money, because that would have been, I would have had to come out of my pocket to do that. So I'm grateful for the extra money. I'm so thankful and so grateful. I just don't want to be in the same situation at the end of the month, when it's time to pay the mortgage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to pay some of the stuff. I'm going to try to pay now. I'm going to try to pay it before, I'm going to try to pay it so that I won't have an overdraft fee, and going to try to whatever I owe or whatever, I'm gonna try to pay it out of this check. I guess that's what I'm saying. So that when it's time for me to pay for the mortgage, I won't have I won't have all these other things coming out. I guess that's what I'm saying. So, yeah. So I gotta just, I just gotta, once again, I just feel like I just can't get ahead. I just feel like I'm always stuck, It's like I'm just playing with money, because I'm playing with money because I don't have no extra money, like I used to. So I always feel like I'm playing with it. I'm playing with money. But again, I'm going to say this. I'm going to let God, I'm going to still trust God. I'm going to still believe in God. I'm still going to trust him. I'm still going to stand out on faith. I'm still going to trust him, because I know that he going to take care of it all, so I'm just doing like little, things to, I'm just trying to pay things so that, like I said, when at the end of the month, I'll be okay, but I gotta get this car fixed, and I just gotta get it fixed. And it's just always something, it's just always something. And I told Christopher yesterday, he was asking me, could he get something off of Amazon? I said, listen here. I said, you already ordered this game that I don't remember how much it was or whatever. I said, Grandma gave you the money to put a deposit on it. We put a deposit. Now you telling me that the game would be ready Friday. I said, so that's money for the game. I said, then you showing me all this stuff on Amazon. I said, Chris, you can find that same stuff at Ross and at TJ Maxx and Marshalls. And I said, I'm not buying that high shit off of Amazon. I'm just not doing it. I don't buy clothes off of Amazon. And one of the reasons why I don't is because they are high. And I can find the same stuff in Ross or Shein or Temu or whatever. And I told him, I'm not buying it. I'm just not buying it. He wants these 2 jogging suits. I told him, I said, those I'll buy for you. But I buy them. I said, first of all, I said, you can't even wear them. I said, it's not even the season to wear them. I said, so, no, I'm not buying that right now. And this is why I cannot wait until he graduates out of high school so his ass can get a job. We tried to get him a job over the summer. That didn't work. I've applied for him to get a job, I don't know how many times through the summer. But again, once again, like I said, gotta, you know, he got to get on the bus or whatever. And, you know, my mother keeps saying, oh, I don't want him to get on the bus. I don't want him to get on the bus. I said, Mama, he either going to get on the bus or he going to have to get an Uber. Because my uncle is the one that's taking him. This thing keep falling. I've got to tighten this again. My uncle who's been, you know, who will take him, he's getting worse, and that we don't know what the situation is going to be with him. And so she don't really want to take him, you know, and pick him up. I said, again, I said, he'll have to get on the bus or he has to take an Uber. I said, but, you know, and this is the thing that gets me with people. You know, look at this mug right here. He runs the light. Really? This is the thing that gets me with people. Y'all are back over at this other location. It's another thing. I'm a little depressed about that. Because I don't know. I have no clue what they're going to have me doing today. I hope it ain't digging no fucking holes. Just being honest. But, you know, this is the thing that gets me with people. You know, everybody telling me, you know, oh, you know, put Chris in this, put Chris in that, put Chris in that. Who going to go pick Chris up? Who going to take Chris? You know, if you all aren't offering to do it or to help me, stop giving me suggestions. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is that I was talking to my girlfriend last night. I went by her house. She lives not far from me, like literally 10 minutes away. I had went by her house because she decorated her deck and she wanted me to see it, and it was very pretty. And she was saying, well, how's he gonna get to school? She was like, sis, you know, maybe he needs to get on the bus. And I said, girl, that's not an option. I said, he knows how to get the bus. You know, he knows how because I've shown him, you know. I said, but my mother don't want that, and I don't want that, and he don't want to get on the bus, and, you know, and I said, girl, you know what it's like in this city, you know, and she lives, where she bought her house is off of 79th Street, and even though she's not as far down 79th as some of the areas, some of the worst areas, 79th Street is the worst street. And I told her, I said, you know, I said 79, 87, I'm off of 87. 87 is a little better, but I mean, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I mean, it's just, it is what it is. That's all I can say, you know. And it's like, and I told her, I said, you know, we don't really want to put him on a bus. I said, but I've told him and I've shown him how to take the bus. You know, I've shown him and I've told him, you know. And like I said, you know, I told him yesterday, I said, I know you want things, and I know you want this, and I know you want that, and I want to give it, I want you to have it as well. I said, but I'm not buying that high expensive crap off of Amazon. I'm just not doing it. We found a designer sweatshirt that he wanted that was in Burlington. Same brand. And I think the sweater was $25 or $35. On Amazon, they want $55. It's called Essentials. So I bought him the Essentials shirt. That one shirt. This was, when I had it like that, that one shirt was $55. One shirt. That one shirt. To get all over here. And so he wants the shorts. The shorts are $55. I said, I'm not buying that. And you know, I hate being, I guess this is my truth. I hate having to tell him that he can't have certain things. But I keep Christopher looking nice. I buy Christopher clothes. But Christopher, what I buy, Christopher don't want because it's not designer. And I told him, here telling me what kind of job you don't want to do, but yet you think you gonna keep coming to me. I said, Chris, this is how life works. When you want things, you gotta go to work. That's just the bottom line. And I said, I know you a senior in high school and you still in school. I said, but there are many kids that are working. There are many kids that are working full-time jobs and going to school, high school, to help their mother and father. I said, some kids have 2 jobs, 2 part-time jobs to help their mother and father. I said, I don't know what these kids at your school do to get all of those designer things. I said, maybe they work. You know, I said, I don't know. Maybe they work. I said, but you are not interested in getting a job at all, but yeah, you want to keep coming to me. And I said, I value what you need. Let me tell you, I watched yesterday. Every time we go into TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Ross, this boy got to buy a pack of white t-shirts. He's addicted to white t-shirts. I washed all the white clothes. Everything except for 2 tops were mine, and the rest was his. Everything else was his. I was folding them. I was steady folding white t-shirts. Steady folding white. I'm like, when is this shit gonna end? So he's got to have white t-shirts. He's got to have the Nautica white t-shirts. You know, I'm like, he's got to have the Nautica. He's got to have, I said, why do you got to have Nautica white t-shirts? I like the way they fit. Okay, so every time we go in there, you got to go get a pack of t-shirts. So those packs of t-shirts are $12 to $14. He has even come over and showed me, said, I like these, and they were $24. I'm not bad. No white t-shirts cost $24. And you get only 5 in a pack. I'm like, no, put them back. But like I told him, all of that shit that you like, all of this designer shit, you gotta go to fucking work. I said, but you steady telling me, because I was telling him about trying to get a job here where I work and work behind the garbage truck. I don't want to do that kind of work. I said, well, you got to figure out what you want to do. I said, I don't care what you do. I said, but I'm going to tell you what you're not going to do. You're not going to keep coming to me asking me for shit and you don't want to do nothing. I said, well, I'm still in school. I said, I know that. I said, and I'm giving you grace because you are. I said, but after next year, I said, you better find a job. And my girlfriend, who I was at her house yesterday, her daughter is 27, 28. She can't find a job. You know, they say, you know, Trump is mad because that woman talked about how the economy is not moving and how the job numbers is low. You know, people aren't hiring. Like, we got a hiring freeze here. And, you know, I told him, I said, you're going to have to figure it out. I don't know what to tell you. You're just going to have to figure something out. And one of my friends who do, I'm going to call him today, who does a lot of work, like the guy who put the locks on my house and the fence up, he's always getting jobs from people. So he called me last week to ask me about Chris. I said, come get this boy. Come get him. I said, he go back. I said, you should have been coming to get him all summer. Did you just run that light? I said, you should have been coming to get him all summer. Real talk. And he was laughing. And I said, really? I said, he stays in the bed till 11 o'clock because he's up half of the night. Which I get, he's a teenager. It's his summer. I'm not saying he shouldn't enjoy his summer. I'm not saying he shouldn't be a teenager. I'm not trying to put that kind of pressure on him. But you ain't going to put that kind of pressure on me. would come to me telling me all the things that you want, and you want this and you want that. And I told him, Chris, I don't have money like that to just buy things for you like that. 2 Christmases ago, or maybe 3 Christmases ago, he had picked out all this stuff off of Temu that he wanted. I bought it. Come on, you've been sitting here the whole time. Stupid motherfucker. So I had bought him all of this stuff, right? I bought him all this stuff, all these jogging suits that he wanted. If he wore it, you did. If he wore it, you did. That shit sat there on the couch for I don't know how long. I said, and then I put it in the drawer. I said, I'm not understanding this. I said, so you had me buy all of this stuff and then you didn't wear it. So that taught me a lesson. That taught me a lesson. So I bring that up all the time to him. And so he said, I know I messed up when I didn't wear that stuff. So of course, he didn't wear it. He growing like a weed. Too little. So ended up giving it away. Brand new stuff. Money going down the drain. And see, he don't understand about money. Oh my God. What is this? Is this the day to run lights? He don't understand about money because he doesn't work. He doesn't get the concept. And I understand that too. So that's why I be trying to break things down to him. I be trying to show him bills. You know, you see this bill? You see that bill? You see this bill? You see that bill? These teenagers. Let me see if my hand work over here. It worked over here. Didn't work over there. Okay. So, you know, I try to show Chris things, and I understand, you know, because there was a lot of things that I wanted when I was a teenager, but the difference was a lot of the things that I wanted, you know, I worked, and I get it. You know, I get he wants the designer things. I get that, you know. But I don't have it in my budget to buy all of that. You know, I just don't. And I know certain things that he shows me that he wants. I know where I can find it. Just like I bought him all those wife beater, all those different shirts, and he didn't like them. I said, yeah, you don't like them because they not designer. I said, if they were designer, you know, you would like it. So, I mean, as a single mom, it's just, you know, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. And I told him, I said, I'm stressed enough. I said, I'm not finna be stressed. I'm not finna be stressed about these things that you want. And I said, he said, well, I can wait, you know, I can wait till Christmas. You gonna have to. But, you know, I told him, I said, this is it. This is it. I said, you getting ready to be a senior. And after that, life begins for you. And I told him, I said, I'm going to always be here to help you. I'm always, you know, if you need me, you know, I said, I'm going to always give you money. I'm going to always make sure you ain't going to never go without. If I have, you have. You know, I'm going to treat you just like my mama treated me. I'm going to be here for you. But you got to, certain things that you want to get your hair cut every 2 weeks. That's another thing. He got to go to the barber shop every time you look around. He in the bar, and I understand that because I'm the same way, you know, because I like to get my hair done every 2 weeks. So he was asking me last night, am I gonna be able to get my hair cut next week? I said, don't you always get your hair cut? He said, well, I know you going through with money. And I said, you'll get your hair cut, you know, but that's $40 every 2 weeks. Mine is $100. Not to mention my feet and my nails, that's $100. You know what I'm saying? And those are things that like I said, those things I'm not going to sacrifice on because it's part of my personal hygiene. So I understand it with him as well. But, you know, like I told him, you know, it's just certain things, you know, that, certain things that you want or certain things that you keep asking me for, you know, you gotta wait. You know, you gotta wait. It's just ridiculous how much. I don't understand nothing about the stuff that Christopher like. I get the essential thing because it's black owned and it's supposed to be something about God. But why does it have to be, one shirt gotta be $55? That's the part I don't get. Wow. Like that was a bad car accident. So, I don't know. I'll have to figure something out with him. I don't necessarily want him to do the job that I did either, but he got to find something. I say you don't like heights like me, so you ain't gonna have no job where you wait, you know, up on no scaffold or no ladders or whatever. I said you just got to figure out what you want to do, you know. I don't know. There's other jobs besides working here. And I know that, but I just don't know what he wants to do. And then he talking about he want to go to acting school, and I'm like, yeah, but it take a while to become an actor, you know. I said that's not gonna be a lot of money. And that's why I make him watch the news. He watches the news with me. He watches all those other TV news channels that my mom and I watch, like MSNBC. I make him watch that because I want you to understand what's going on in our economy. Right now, Trump is putting tariffs on more things. And you know, he's putting more tariffs. And it's going to get more expensive. I was watching the news this morning. He was talking about how they can't even go to the grocery store. I can't tell y'all the last time I went to the grocery store. I'm not lying. It's been months. Months. And I know y'all probably saying, well, how do y'all eat? In my mama's house. That's how we eat. Because I don't really cook. You know what I'm saying? I don't really cook. So I buy things. I'll go to Dollar Tree where they have the frozen section, and I'll buy stuff like that because I don't cook. So my mom really does, whatever she buy, you know, she don't shop at Jewel, she shop at Aldi's. Aldi's is just as expensive. You know, Aldi's is just as expensive. And when I do go to the grocery store, I try to buy things like those hamburger patties. Right now, beef has gone up. Hamburger meat has gone up. It's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. Everybody is just struggling. The rich is getting richer and the poor is getting poor. All the rich people are getting a tax break. How ass backwards is that? But, hey, y'all that think Trump is so great, and I said this on my Facebook page, and I'm going to say it here. All of you all that voted for him and thought it was funny that he won and was rah, rah, rah for him, I hope you suffer the most through these tariffs. I hope your ass won't be able to fucking eat. Because we tried to tell you. We tried to tell you about Project 25. We tried to tell you what this man was going to do, but y'all laughed, and y'all was out there cheerleading him on and all of this and all of that. And now everything that they said they were going to do is getting ready to happen. So I hope y'all suffer the most, because this man did not have to be in office. And if the election was rigged and it was stolen, then it was. But the fact that you still went behind a curtain and pushed that number and voted for him, you deserve to get whatever you get. And I mean that. I mean that. All these poor people that voted for him, all the people, you see what he doing to the Hispanic people, how he, whether you've been here for however long, he deporting you. But y'all voted for him though. The Hispanic population voted for him. Black people voted for him. All of the brown people who he's racist against, who he don't like, he has said that he think Mexicans and Hispanics are murderers, all of my murderers. Look what he's done. And so this is also a part of my truth. That's how I feel. I hope y'all suffer. I do. And I know that's probably a harsh, mean thing to say, but that's how I feel. Because whether it was rigged, whether he stole it, whatever way it went down, you still went in that booth and you voted for him. And you thought it was funny. Well, I want to see if your ass going to be laughing when you can't feed your fucking family. I want to see if you're going to be laughing. I want to see if you're going to be laughing when he decides, oh, you know what? Just because I don't care how long you've been in America and you Hispanic or you Latino, you got to leave. All the black people, you think that he can't make you leave? But y'all thought it was funny. Oh, Trump is going to put more money in my pocket. Oh, Trump is going to do this. Trump ain't did shit but make America worse. He definitely ain't made it great again. He ain't did shit. And all y'all to get on the live and want to talk about Trump and all that, I hope you suffer the most. And I mean that. I hope you suffer. I hope every time you go to the bathroom, you shit Trump out your ass. Because people tried to tell you. And if you don't think Project 2025 is real, it's about to get worse. And I ain't here to scare you, but that's a fact. And that's the truth. But we tried to tell you. And a lot of people didn't even vote in the primary election. You know, people don't get out and vote. People sit at home and they think this shit is funny. I just heard on the news this morning that if you get SNAP benefits, you can't buy soda. Because they want to make America healthy again. The Kennedy guy. So now all 12 states have signed on where you cannot, 12 states have signed on that if you receive SNAP benefits, which is food stamps, you cannot buy a sugary drink. You can't buy pop. So, you know, y'all let him in there, and he had appointed all of these people. You know, some of you all don't even know what's going on. Just like the girl that got on here and said, I subscribe to you, and you started talking about politics or whoever it was, and I unsubscribed because I don't want to hear that. Baby girl, let me tell you something. Whether you hear it from me over here or you hear it anywhere else, you better be listening. Because it's going to affect you and it's going to affect your family. And if it don't affect you, it's going to affect somebody that you know or somebody in your family. So y'all can try to run and hide and you don't want to hear about what's going on in the world all you want. But it's going down. You can sit back and say, oh, Cece's talking about this again, and Cece's talking about that again. I don't want to hear that. Okay. But I guarantee you, whether you hear from me, you're going to hear from somebody. When you go in that grocery store and you got 2 bags and you would spend $300, remember how you didn't want to listen to me. Remember how you got all in your feelings and you unsubscribed because you didn't want to hear what I had to say. Remember that. Because the shit is getting ready to get real fucked up out here. And if you think crime is bad, it's going to be worse. It's going to be worse. It's going to be worse because of the simple fact that people are going to be out here just fighting other people just for food. You're going to come out the grocery store with bags in your hands or bags in your car, and somebody going to walk by and reach in and steal your shit because they hungry. We are living in America, of the country with so many opportunities that no longer exist. Do you see the people over in Gaza, how they are hungry, how this one man is they're just dying. Babies. That's what's going to happen over here with this man in office, because we're not going to be able to afford food. The tariffs is going to affect us with just getting food here shelved on the grocery store. See, tariffs is going to affect us all in some shape, form, or fashion. Whether it affects you directly in your pocket, or it affects you when you go to the store and you're trying to buy, and trying to find or trying to get things and they're not there and the shelves are empty. Because all those workers that did the type of work that we normally have, people in the strawberry fields and people that do all the other type of work, that, because see, it's a chain of command how it's linked up. So you're going to be affected by that. So that's why when Trump won, and I was talking about all the things, I gave a list. Somebody got on and said, well, that it ain't going to affect me. And I heard other people saying that, well, that's not going to affect me. I want them same people that said that, and them same people that said that on my Facebook page, I know for a fact, receive food stamps. They do not have a job. They got a side gig, They don't have a job. So my thing is, can you say that now? How many people saying that now? What ain't gonna affect them? We all going to be affected. All of us. My girlfriend last night said she go to the grocery store. She said she can spend $300 easily. I said, I know. You used to be able to come out the grocery store. You could spend $100 and you had many bags. And I was looking at somebody yesterday, was talking about how they had been on Wegovy, the weight loss drug for diabetes. And the insurance is now pulling back and won't approve it anymore. So she was saying how, she's starting to gain the weight back because she ain't on the drug. These people don't want you to have nothing. I've tried to get on Wegovy so many times. I guess my point is that you may think that certain things are not going to affect you because it's not happening right now to you, but it will. Eventually, it will affect you. Because if you got a Section 8 person living in your building, all of that that's not going to exist. This is what I'm saying. This is not going to exist. Everybody is pinching a penny. Everybody is trying to. It's just. But. And there's a big but. God is still on the throne. And he's not going to let his people suffer. Things may be uncomfortable. And there may need to be some adjustments. But we will not suffer. We will not go without. Whatever that is. And we have to, with everything going on in the world, you still got to find joy. You still got to find happiness. You still got to find peace. You still got to just say, God, I'm just letting you be in control. But it's common sense ain't common for people no more. Just like the young lady got on here and made the comment on my makeup video yesterday. People just don't have no freaking common sense. And this is how I know people do not watch my videos. They just run they fast forward through my videos because I clearly said on that video, I'm not a professional. I'm not a makeup artist. I said, this is how I put on my makeup. You can either do it this way or not. I said, but don't get on here telling me. So I went over to her page and I left all kinds of nasty comments on her videos. See, I have learned that if you can come to my platform and you can leave and you can be nasty, I'm going straight over to your shit and leave. I must have left about 8 or 10 comments over there. I talked about her like a dog. I drug her. Because you had an opportunity to keep fucking scrolling. But you decided that you, Miss Prudence or Key, or whatever the fuck your name is, You decided that you wanted to come over on my shit and say some bullshit. She got 3 videos, 1 subscriber. She been on there since 2024. She even got 10 subscribers. Not even 10. And here's this is what I'm gonna say. This is my other Truthful Tuesday. This is my Truthful Tuesday right here. This is another one. When you come for somebody, make sure you are the bomb diggity. Make sure you are the baddest bitch moving. Make sure you ain't got a booger hanging out your nose. Make sure your eye don't go over this way. Make sure you ain't got on no fucked up weave that look like the dog chewed on it and wiped his ass on it while he was trying to wipe his butt on the carpet because his butt itched. Make sure your weave don't look like the dog wiped his ass on it. She got a big ass moon ass face, big forehead. She got this round ass face. She don't have no neck like this. She like a fucking bobble doll. And you on my shit talking about me? Okay. Okay. Make sure when you come for somebody, make sure when you come for somebody that there's that you perfect. And seeing that none of us are, because all of us, in some shape, form, or fashion, we all look weird. We all do. Even the finest of the finest is not out here looking perfect. A person can be fine in the face and they take their clothes off. They might have the biggest goddamn mole hanging off their damn stomach. None of us are perfect. So when you gonna come for a motherfucker, you better make sure you are the bomb diggity. Not look like your head is bigger than the rest of your fucking body. This is why I don't fuck with people. This is why I don't bother people. I don't bother nobody because I don't want nobody bothering me. This is why I don't be talking about people on here. And I don't do that. If I can't give you a compliment, I don't say nothing. If I ain't got nothing good to say, I don't say nothing. But I'm not finna come on your YouTube channel, on your platform, and say some snarky shit to you or tell you, well, you did that concealer wrong, blah, blah, blah. Even if I saw you doing something wrong, I would say, hey sis, email me. I want to talk to you about something. I will put my email address in there. And then when you email me, I would say, you know what? I didn't want to write this on your video, but I saw something. I just want to give you a little tip. But I would never, ever come on your shit and try to talk about you and drag you. And this is the problem I have with people on this fucking platform, that I have a problem on this with people on this internet, period. Just because you can see me and I can't see you, or just because I'm on here doing what I do, whatever way I do it, whatever way I do it, whatever way I decide to do it, why do you feel the need to have something to say about it? And I do remember saying on there, on that video, I said, don't come over here with that. Don't come on here talking about, oh, you did it this way, you did it that way. You know, I watch Jen on Demand. I watch Jen on Demand. She's a YouTuber over here. If you all like fashion and luxury fashion, and she install wigs, and she wear you know, her hair or whatever. I've watched Jen put on install a wig. I don't wear wigs, right? I don't wear wigs. I don't know too much about. I couldn't tell you how to install a wig because I have no clue. Okay, I have no clue. But I ain't finna go over there and tell her, well, you know, Jen, I don't think the way you put that on is right. You need to go. You need to go for some more training. Bitch, who are you to tell somebody that somebody needs some more training? And you need some training on that fucked up weave. Not Jen, the orky lady, whatever the fuck her name is. I mean, I was just like, bitch, have you looked in the mirror at that shit? I wouldn't be on nobody's shit telling them they need some training when my fucking head look like a dog's tail or a cat's ass look better than that shit. That weave looked like she had had it for 20 years. And then she got this wide, big face and these little chipmunk teeth. It's always the fucked up people, the ugly, lizard face, roach looking, beady eyed, rectum lips looking motherfucker who always want to come and tell you about yourself. And I'm not trying to act like I'm the finest bitch in the world because I know I'm not. But I look better than a lot of you motherfuckers that try to come for me. A lot of the people that I had on the lives, I go on my computer and I go to the people that I've hid in YouTube Studio. It's a box. And I click on their YouTube channel and I pull up their profile pic and I said, really, motherfucker? You were trying to come for me? See, I stay in my lane. I don't talk about folks because I know I got all kinds of imperfections. I know I'm not the prettiest. I know I'm not the finest. So I don't fuck with people because I know I'm not perfect. I have no room to talk about nobody. None. I have no room to talk about nobody because I am not a perfect human being and I don't look perfect. So when I do talk about somebody, it's usually because you have talked about me. And then I'm going to come and find what the fuck is wrong with you. And it's a lot wrong with a lot of you motherfuckers. Like Natty Dreadlocks. That motherfucker's lips look so motherfucking black. Look like rectum lips. Look like the inside of an asshole. You walking around here with these ugly rectum booty hole lips trying to come for a motherfucker. Trying to talk about my weight. Weight is something I can change. Them lips, you cannot. I hope he's straight. Because if he ain't, whew. He couldn't smell my coochie, let alone eat it with them lips. And I don't know. I don't know. I hope he's straight, because I hope he ain't bobbing on the knob with them lips. I mean, I'm just saying. Make sure you. This is the advice that I'm gonna give everybody looking at this video. Make sure you 100 before you come for somebody else. Because if you ain't, you really need to shut the fuck up. And it be the worst looking people that want to come for other people on the internet. Anyway, I gotta go. I hope y'all have a beautiful Tuesday. I plan to go live later. That's the plan. Like I said, I have to have a break because anywho, y'all have a great day. Have a great day. Have an amazing day. Have a safe day. Be kind to yourself, and then be kind to someone else. Leave people alone. Stop trying to be in everybody's business. Stop trying to comfort people. Stop trying to, do the most. Leave people alone. If you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. Just leave people alone. That's all I'm going to say. Because when I go over there and look at y'all channel, I cannot believe that y'all the motherfuckers is trying to come for somebody. I'm like, the nerve, the audacity is mind motherfucking blowing to me. I was like, they tried to come for me? It's unbelievable. It's just unbelievable to me. But anywho, y'all have a great day. I'll see you on here tomorrow. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Leave your Truthful Tuesday in the comment section. I want to read them, okay? You all have a great day. I love you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for all your love and your support. Thank you for coming and watching another video. And I'll see you in the next one. And I'll probably see you this evening on live. Make sure you come on and join the live, okay? All right, it'll probably be on live about 5 or 6 o'clock this evening, Chicago time, Central time. Okay? All right. Have a great day. Peace and blessings. Bye.